Bro, I cannot believe that I was right about this whole thing from the beginning. But actually, did anybody think that it was going to go our way? Did we think that anything was actually going to come of this? Because I didn't. I knew the government was going to government, and we weren't going to get any of this stuff ever, probably. We might get it in 50 years, but I doubt it. I think there's nothing left. I think that they've scrubbed everything. And this situation just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
According to the Department of Justice, Jeffrey Epstein was not murdered, and there was no client list.
Absolutely fucking bullshit.
Well, that's convenient.
A new Justice Department
Everything's convenient. There's convenience all sprinkled throughout it.
memo reveals that the Justice Department has no evidence that convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful people or kept a client list or was murdered in prison.
So why is Ghislaine, whatever her name is, Maxwell in prison then? If none of this happened, why is she in prison?
The memo, first reported by Axios, is a sharp turn from the Trump administration's insistence that there was much more to uncover.
Yeah, two things happened, or one of two things happened. One, they lied about the whole thing so that they could get elected and appointed. Or two, they're involved and it's all bullshit. And neither one of them are good. Both of them very, very fucking bad.
Attorney General.
See, that's what it was, is that they should have never said that. Like, how is it that you said that, but there was nothing to look at?
Oh, she didn't say that. That's not what she said. She actually said a different thing. Oh, and she said that she had the client list on her desk. What she really meant was she had the files on her desk, even though that is literally not what was fucking said.
Because they played this up so fucking hard for years.
Pam Bondi pushed that theory while in office. Take a look.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
So it wasn't the files. She was explicitly asked about a list, and she said, it's sitting on my desk.
Well, she might have misspoke. She may have misspoke. And if she did, then she's retarded. And she needs to not be there. Why does she still have a job? She's a massive smoke blower. She blows smoke up people's asses. Misspeaks about one of the most important things of all time. And either she's lying, and there really was nothing, or the rest of them are lying, and there is something, but they destroyed it. Like, which is it?
It is referring directly back to the question about a list.
But today, the White House says she didn't really mean to suggest that the list itself was on her desk.
Isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient? Now she says that she misspoke. Now that everybody's making a big stink about it.
She was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that.
Joining us now to discuss the
Who the fuck believes this shit?
Nobody.
Who the fuck believes
None
this
of
shit?
us.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, nobody believes this shit.
What are we doing? Like, it's semantics. Yeah, it's.
CNN's Evan Pettis and Axios's Alex Eisenstadt, who broke the story on Axios. And Alex, I have to say, I'm with the people that still have questions.
Yeah, I think a lot of people
I kind
are.
of don't buy the nothing to see here, and I don't know that the Justice Department helped.
Bro, if they don't start answering our questions, we're going to start answering the questions for them. Like, I'm telling you.
Their case, they released this video. Let's show it. It shows no one entered the area surrounding Epstein's cell in the hours before he died. But there's something significant about this videotape. What is it?
Well, here's one thing that some people on the internet are picking up on, which is that
there's a minute missing.
About a minute missing.
Isn't that convenient? How fucking convenient that there's a minute missing. Oh, but there's a minute missing on every tape. How is that fucking possible? Every night there's a minute missing. Why? Why is there a minute missing? Why? Why are you just, okay. Fucking, either they're so incompetently retarded that our country's fucked, or this is all bullshit.
Between 11:58 p.m., 58 seconds, and 12 a.m., the night that Epstein was apparently killed or died. And so
the official story is that he died by suicide. That's correct. What then Trump Attorney General Bill Barr said
right. So years ago. Died. And so now there are, it's going to intensify.
I'm not even 100% on whether or not he's dead. That, like, honestly.
More conspiracy theories about what happened the night of Epstein's death. And of course, you have the DOJ and FBI now, which are trying to extinguish a lot of these.
Yeah, like, it all reeks of bullshit, so I'm not believing anything. I don't believe anything that they have to say about this whole thing. Like, they're pretty much gonna have to release everything. They're gonna have to say everything, or else, nobody's gonna believe this bullshit.
Conspiracy theories, but that's not happened today online. If you look at the MAGAverse, they're inflamed about this.
Well, I mean,
true.
Yeah, I wonder fucking why.
Offense to Dan Bongino.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing that everybody said would flip them. If there's some actual evil shit being covered up and we can see it, Tim Pool said it. I think even Cat Turd has flipped on it. And like, fuck. And he's been a MAGA blowhard forever, as long as I've known him on Twitter.
And Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, but they had a hand in igniting some of these conflagrations. I mean, in February, the White House...
Yeah, they never had... that you did not have to go so hard about saying that it was going to come out if it wasn't going to come out or you weren't sure about it. So there's there are two outcomes that could have happened. Outcome number one is that they didn't actually know what they were talking about and they were just talking shit. Outcome...
Yeah, in which case it'd be completely fucking retarded and incompetent and they don't need to be in there.
Number two is that they're hiding it. Both of them are awful.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Really fucking bad.
These conservative MAGA influencers to get a first look at the declassified documents related to the Epstein case. Look at that, all those binders. They gave them binders that said Epstein Files Phase 1.
Yeah, man, that was such bullshit. I knew it was bullshit. The people that I was watching in their space, they knew it was bullshit. Like, come on. With this Phase 1 client, no, fucking get out of here. We got the Epstein files, we're gonna give them to all these social media influencers. And then it was just a whole bunch of nonsense that we've already known and seen.
And Evan, at the time...
Apparently there's only one face.
...wrote that this is something of a self-own for the Justice Department. Why?
It's absolutely a cell phone. It is 100% a cell phone.
It absolutely was. Those binders, those documents in those binders, all of that was public for years. And that's what the influencers found out. When they opened it up, they're like, wait a minute, all of this stuff has been out there. And the Justice Department could have helped themselves and perhaps reduce the embarrassment if they had just picked up the phone and talked to some of the prosecutors in New York and some of the FBI agents who had done this case, and they could have told them all of this stuff has been out there. But you know why they didn't do that is because they fired all these people, so they didn't have anybody to talk to.
They could have asked them afterwards too. They could no, that's not it. They did it because it made them look good. I think that's the reason why.
100%.
Right?
They did it for votes to get themselves appointed. They were like, hey, we're gonna fucking do this. And everybody was like, all right, let's go. Let's fucking do this. And they were like, all right, we're going. Phase 1. And then nothing. 100% is to get stuff like the big beautiful bill. It was to get stuff like that attack on Iran. You know, it's that kind of thing. To get back in good favor with Israel. You know, all that bullshit. That's what it was for.
And so, this is something that they have absolutely fanned. And
so I agree with the questioning here. Does this make me a liberal or an independent since I voted for Trump?
Bro, why does anybody care? Why do you care? Stop labeling yourselves. That's why I label myself an anarchist. Because I'm just like, I'd pick the one that literally cannot work or everybody dies. Because I just do not care about politics. I do not. It's all gross, disgusting lies to me. Even people who say things that I like, they're only saying those things to get themselves elected. They're not actually trying to do anything good. They just want the power.
Can you guys please stop fucking trying to make every decision? Like, you don't have to label yourself. Sometimes, like, it's just, I really wish that, they would take the Democrat and the Republican and the Independent and the Green Party and the Libertarian labels off of the voting ballots.
So fucking true, man. That's a huge problem. People just vote D.
So you don't have
down
people
the list.
that go in there and they just fucking straight ticket vote for a bunch of people.
I think me and Asmongold probably agree on most things. We're saying basically the same shit in this whole video.
I think this is so, like, it's such a bad way to do things. It's good, yes. Just take that shit off. You don't have to be a Democrat to see that this is a fuck up. People are so attached to being completely 100% right or being completely, or the other side being completely 100% wrong. Nothing in life works that way. Literally nothing does. And so basically, you're living in a lie. Stop trying to live in a lie.
Yeah, like, I don't even care what you believe politically. Just like on either side. Don't be an insane freak. You know, everybody else, fine. Doesn't matter how far left, how far right you are, as long as you're not an insane freak. What is an insane freak? Literally, like, exactly what it sounds like. People who are freaks and who are insane. And they're all over the political spectrum. There are even centrists who are insane freaks. It's not just like a leftist thing. There are right-wing freaks, there are left-wing freaks, there are centrist freaks. They're just freaks and they're fucking insane. And people mix that up, especially down in the comments when they're like, oh, you're talking about insane leftists? Insane leftist freaks? You're calling leftists freaks? No. There is a specific group of people on the left who are the insane freaks that I refer to as insane leftist freaks. If you look up in a Google image search or any other search, type in insane leftist freaks, that you will get exactly the people that I'm talking about. I promise you.
Now they own this, and that is part of the problem here. And they've been struggling with what to do about this, Jake, for some time, because agents spent overnight shifts redacting these documents, and then what they ended up with were pages that were filled with blackout.
Yeah.
They cannot release it because it would re-victimize some of the victims.
Bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
There are all the times videos that are found, they're reviewed by crime investigations units.
Dude, yeah, what about all these pedo rings that get caught out? Like, somebody has to review the information to find everybody. So what's going on with that? Is there literally just nothing on 10,000 tapes? Did they lie about that?
The crimes investigation units look and they identify the people that are in these videos, and then they go out and they find those fucking people. This happens constantly. This is bullshit. You don't have to publish it. You don't have to release the video, but you have to have somebody review the video who's part of the FBI or somebody like that and say, oh, I think I know who maybe this person is. You see what I'm saying? It's bullshit. It's total bullshit.
It's a manipulation.
They can censor faces. They can take, if you have the entire...
They know we can't do anything about it. And it's like a spit in the face. Spit right in the face. Like, all right, here's some information. Here you go. We'll give you even more. But it's literally not anything that you're wanting. They even told us. They even told us that it's not going to be what we wanted, what we thought it was. Nope, it was exactly what I thought it was. Bullshit. I knew it was going to be bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Here, like, this is like, let's say this is the frame, right? This is a person.
What's he doing here?
That's it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to fucking go and redo everything and publish the whole video. Nobody is asking for this. Nobody wants this.
Like, legit. Post screenshots of their faces. Zoom in on their faces and crop out their faces. And release that. You don't gotta release the full shit. Like, what are we doing here?
So what they're doing, this is what's happening, is that they are creating this false, it's like a straw man to argue against, where it's like, oh, well, of course we can't release the video. It's child sexual abuse. We don't want you to release the video. We want you to act on the people that were in the videos.
Like, release their faces. If you can't release the videos, just release the faces. Like, come on, man. What the fuck?
Fucking duh. That's absolutely what it is. How is that possible? Yes, no one is asking for the videos.
Federal law, there's Privacy Act.
I'm asking for screenshots of people's faces in the videos. That's what I'm asking for.
So
bullshit.
That's
There's
what they
nothing
were
to do with
They
it.
were realizing that they were going to release a bunch of black pages that would have only fanned the conspiracy.
And Alex, a lot of people in the MAGA world are very
really the whole thing. You can't redact the names. Why does everything need to be redacted, and not just the names? Who decides that?
upset, very disappointed with Attorney General Bondi, very upset with.
I'll tell you who decides it. The people that were involved. That's who decide it.
With the director and deputy director of the FBI, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. Mike Lindell of My Pillow fame.
Bro, if you lost Mike Lindell, this guy went to war for Donald. He did. Bro, this guy...
Here's a crazy scenario. What if Trump is on the list? And he did what if they got Trump on video, right? And Dan Bongino and Kash Patel know it. And Trump told them, if you tell anybody about this, if you don't squash this, I'm literally going to destroy everything. Like, what do you do at that point? It could seriously be something like that. Not saying that's what happened. I don't even want that to be manifested in the world. But that's probably worst case scenario. Honestly, I think that is worst case scenario.
This is insane. To lose him, like, that's wrong, bro. That he lost cat turd. I think that might even be worse. That's really bad. I work in a field where I redact stuff all the time. You absolutely can redact names and info that lead to identifying victims that lead other stuff in. Maybe that's the case, maybe not.
On X, as trusted voices like Bongino, Kash, and Bondi align with the official story, many are asking who's...
Yeah, even people that I know that aren't watching politics, who they don't pay attention to politics, are talking about this. This is huge. This is fucking huge.
Still willing to demand real answers. Laura Loomer, who I only cite because apparently she has influence with President Trump.
Yes, people fired.
She got National Security Council people fired. She posted, if Attorney General Bondi doesn't get fired over this Epstein memo, people are going to be so black-pilled.
Fucking based.
I'm already black-pilled. And I'm moving over into Vanta black. And maybe I'm starting to turn into a black hole. Because, like... this shit sucks.
You can't say that you had it on your desk. You can't say that you had the bullets in the chamber and then not fire the gun. Bullshit. Absolutely. And also, why...
No, they did fire the gun, I think. I think they fired the gun and a little flag that said bang came out of it.
Why is it that we haven't...
It was a lie.
Gone after all of these people that are making these crazy statements online about shooting Trump or burning down Teslas? Like, why are they not talking about that? They're not going after any of these people. It's I don't know what the fuck she's doing, but it certainly doesn't seem like working to me.
They were obviously...
Seems like they're probably doing a lot of press and, like, talking to people and doing interviews and shit like that. That's what they're doing. The typical government stuff. They got in there and they start having fun with it. Start getting their agendas done. Then the fake agenda that they promised everybody to get done isn't getting done.
Hoping for a different outcome.
This is crazy.
I have to say, Alex, I find it hard to believe that we still don't know so much about this case.
Yeah, and I don't think the
And the more we do know about it, the more everything is conveniently fucked up in a way that would, like, there's always more to look into.
Conspiracy theories are ever going to stop. But big picture, this is sort of what happens when you have the MAGA influencerization of the DOJ and the FBI, right? You put Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, who before going into the FBI were MAGA influencers.
Talking about this stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So now they come in and they're high expectations.
This was a massive thing. It was a gigantic thing.
Yep, this is a gigantic fuck up. Unless this is the best case scenario, this is how they do it. This is the only way they could do it without everything completely falling apart. And that's kind of how I'm seeing it. Like, this is the way they had to do it. And it's fucked up. And I'm at the point where, like, if there's actually anything there, fuck everything, release it.
They were going to deliver, and they came up empty-handed. And so there's a lot of anger about that. And the MAGA universe is not happy today.
Well, after months of teasing the release of new information about the accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and his alleged client list, the Justice Department, well, they're now saying that no evidence or such a list actually existed, or that Epstein was murdered. The DOJ saying it does not plan to release any new documents on the matter, and writing today in a memo, quote, there was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged parties. Joining me now is CNN senior justice correspondent Evan Perez and CNN legal analyst Elliot Williams. Evan,
So you have tens of thousands of videos, but you can't identify a single person in those videos?
Oh, they definitely can. Oh, they definitely can. Especially with AI. Be like, what does this look like? Who does this look like?
None of them.
And then go question them.
What are the odds? It's supposedly CP? That's not what I said. Do you really think that nobody has ever looked at that stuff to find out and figure out who the fuck does this?
Yeah, like, they've seen it and they got it. And they can crop out people's faces and be like, hey, who is this? It's not that fucking hard.
Understand, this is a very, very dark conversation. But there are absolutely investigative units that go through stuff like that as a necessary action in order to find the people that did it. They do it. Why isn't it happening? Why would they screen record the adult? Why would they screen record it to begin with?
you've reported on this for, I think, years on some level now.
Right.
Tell us how this memo kind of came to be, how this case became such a fixation.
Well, the case became a fixation in part because the Attorney General and other people around President Trump have fanned the flames of this conspiracy, that there was some bombshell hidden in these Epstein documents.
Yeah.
And everyone has known, certainly a lot of the documents that the Justice Department has been looking at, they've been out in public already for years, because you remember some of his co-defendants went on trial after his 2019 suicide. So this is no surprise to anyone who's been paying attention, but for people inside the Justice Department who certainly encourage.
I think people have already been working backwards and come to have already made a conclusion. Yeah. If it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it looks like a duck. People spend months telling you, boys, let me tell you something about that animal. That's a motherfucking duck. And then after fucking 3 years, they go, guys, it turns out it was a fucking pelican. Can you believe that? Wow, who would have guessed?
Dude, that was perfect analogy, man, or comparison, or whatever. Perfect.
Damn, it was actually a dog. It's a chicken.
Actually, you didn't see anything. There wasn't anything there the whole time. There was never a duck. There was never an animal. It was just a grassy knoll.
this this kind of belief out there, they're now having to admit that there's really no there. And you see in the memo, it says a systematic review.
Somebody says the amount of people who don't care about this are greater than the ones who do. Let's see if this affects his poll numbers. I think that a lot of people view this like, and this is the issue, is that Donald Trump has been attacked for a lot of things that I think are bullshit. Like, for example, like him, oh, Donald Trump used an anti-Semitic slur. He called somebody a Shylock. That means he hates Jews. Just, no, stop. Stop. And there's...
I don't even know what that word means. I've never heard that word before. Shylock? Reminds me of Frylock.
Been so much Donald Trump being a bad guy alarmism that I think that people just reflexively defend him because so much of it is bullshit. This isn't bullshit. This is real.
Revealed no incriminating client list. There was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions or that he was murdered. Again, all of these things were known. It's just that there was a certain part of the internet, and certainly on Twitter, a lot of MAGA believers who...
I hate how he's trying to compartmentalize this onto the internet, which is like, it's partially true. I mean, to be fair, he's kind of right. But I do think that he's trying to downplay it as well. I also think, I'm going to go even farther, that I think that the ownership of these large media companies, it is also in their best interest to cover this in a way that is dismissive. I do. I think it's in their best interest.
Yeah, you don't want to get daddy government mad at you. You don't want to break that whole intertwining, interconnection. If you go against the big daddy government that is behind all of this, they're going to cut you off. Simple as that. So they have to fall in line.
That there was something here that was being hidden.
Yeah, and look, the White House, I think on some level was active participants at some elements of those corners of the internet. What did the White House say about this case earlier today?
Well, today they had to react to the fact that just a couple months ago, the Attorney General on Fox News seemed to indicate that there was a client list sitting on her desk. And now what they're saying, what she's referring to is just that she was looking at the larger number of documents.
Well, she answered the question wrong then. It's that simple.
Yeah, how convenient.
Somebody asked, is there a list? And she says, yeah, it's on my desk. Okay, well then, oh, I wasn't talking about a list? Okay, well then you said the wrong thing.
Yeah, you dumb bitch.
It's that simple.
Again,
fucking retarded.
Held an event at the White House where they
can't speak, you can't be the Attorney General.
To look at these binders, which ended up being documents that had been on the internet and had been available publicly for years.
Elliot, before I ask you a question, I want to play that sound that Evan was just talking about. Take a listen.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
Right there.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Elliot, you used to work for the Justice.
Whoa, but how do you know it? How do you know they have the list if you haven't even seen the list?
Department, an Attorney General saying that, and then a memo like this coming into the public sphere.
The file was on her desk? That's not what they said.
It's embarrassing what happened.
It is embarrassing.
Here, look, the Attorney General.
Bro, it's more than embarrassing. It is an embarrassment. Like, it makes everything look so bad. It makes our country look so fucking weak.
General, this is to Evan's point a moment ago, sort of fan the flames of these truly bonkers, I won't say the full word, conspiracy theories that have been allowed to infiltrate not just American life, but also the government at the highest levels. There are basic facts here that we ought to accept. Number one, Jeffrey Epstein did really bad things to many people. And number two, Jeffrey Epstein killed himself in prison before he could face trial. Those are facts. That is truth. Any suggestion to the contrary is simply not held by serious people. And the Attorney General herself.
Okay, fine. What about all the other people in the island? What about all that?
What island? Island? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know this island you speak of. I've never been there.
Quite frankly, is responsible for allowing some of this nonsense to get out there. Now, thankfully, the Justice Department has put this memorandum out there, but this is just a bad look for the Justice Department. It's actually quite shameful.
Elliot, is it normal for DOJ?
In my opinion, this might be unpopular, but I don't think that it's that big of a deal if Jeffrey Epstein killed himself or not.
Yo, there we go, dude. Like every fucking time. I'm pretty sure me and Asmongold are the same person at this point. Because I've been saying this. It does not fucking matter. What matters is everything else around it. And they're trying to distract us with this Jeffrey Epstein bullshit with the 1 minute being missing. It's all fucking bullshit. Every single fucking thing about it.
It's not. Because the real thing is about whether there were other people implicated in this or not. Like, that's basically, like, him killing or not killing himself is an indication of something that's much larger.
Like, okay, so if there was nothing there, if there was no evidence, why did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself? Okay? Like, come on. If there was nothing, then like he wouldn't have been inclined to neck himself. Also, same goes if somebody were to murder him. If there was nothing there, why would somebody need to murder him? If he didn't neck himself. Come on. What the fuck? Everything just reeks of bullshit.
So it's like, in a way, it's like an indication of that, but it is not that in itself.
To release a memo like this?
It really isn't, Phil, only because...
It's a big deal? Well, it's a big deal for what it means, but not what it is in itself.
The memorandum is really pushing back
is that a weird
conspiracy theories. It's not
a weird way to say
explaining why someone wasn't charged with a crime, or explaining why someone was charged with a crime, or explaining the facts of the case. It is merely put out there to debunk some of this nonsense that the Attorney General actually helped fan the flames up by handing these memos out, these binders out at the White House and so on. So no, it is not common at all. Certainly the Justice Department makes public statements all the time. They make public statements to our reporters like Evan Perez, and that's fine. But pushing back on conspiracy theories is not a core competency of any member of the Justice Department, and quite frankly, it should not be.
Evan, real quick before I let you go, any repercussions for the Attorney General on this?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can see people on the right, including Lara Loomer.
They already have repercussions. It damaged their entire credibility. Like, this was probably because, and let me let it finish.
She's calling for the Attorney General to be fired. This is not over because the fact that these documents are not out means that these conspiracies will live on.
That's correct. Not yet. And so anyway, why is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail then? Well, because she could have trafficked people to Jeffrey Epstein himself, right? I mean, like, to be fair, like, there is an answer to that. But at the same time, I just can't see how you can't get her to talk and explain who else it was. And
probably because she won't talk, for one. And another, maybe she doesn't actually know anything. Maybe she doesn't know anything on purpose. You never know. This whole fucking thing, dude, the web of bullshit has scattered itself all across the world.
Anyway, so Filthy Rich Movie is all the Aussie fake. Yeah, so this is the big reason why it's so damaging for Donald Trump. The reason why this is so damaging for Jeffrey Epstein, for this story not to get released, is because Donald Trump was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. That's the main reason why people are flipping out about it. It's because there are photos of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein together over the course of over 10 years. So Elon's old tweet is also, well, yeah, well, that's not the point, right? It's much more than that. So yeah, best friends for a decade. I'm not going to say best friends, but they were it seems.
Dude, yeah, that Elon tweet, that did not fucking help things. And now all of this. Yeah, when Elon's like, nothing's going to come out because Donald Trump is on the list, and then nothing comes out. Like, damn. There's just too many things. There's too much. Too much lining up for it to point at, I think that Trump's probably guilty.
It's like they were very good friends. And that being said, there are way too many coincidences. Yes, there are way too many coincidences for this. And so, yeah, the same way you and Rich were friends. They're not close friends for life or anything. Yeah, no, definitely. But like over 10 years and then him making comments about, you know, Jeffrey Epstein's like preferences in women, like it's just, again, and also, by the way, I didn't try to hide that or turn it into something that it wasn't. So it's a very different situation. So it's a very big difference there. And I think that's where the frustration from this is really coming from. That's where a lot of people are very mad about.
Oh, you want to see what I'm mad about? You want to see what I'm mad about? I've been calling for Trump to say something. I've been saying that if Trump doesn't say anything, then I think that he was probably involved. If he keeps silent about this, oh, it's much, much worse than that. Much, much worse.
For the Epstein stuff, and this is Trump talking about it. I guess this is from today.
Sure. Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency.
What do you think he's gonna say? What are you gonna say? Drop your guesses down below.
The former labor secretary who was Miami U.S. Attorney, Alex Kosticki, allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the news?
Yeah, sure. If
could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
Holy fucking shit.
We have this, we have all.
Are people still talking about this? This is crazy. Like, we've got bigger things to worry about than literally the biggest child sex ring of all time. This is the thing. This is the biggest thing. And it's trending. It was the #1 trending thing. People are still talking about this? Are you serious? Well, all these disasters going on. Don't you know there's a genocide?
All of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
That sounds like he's guilty.
Fuck yeah, it does. Fuck yeah, it does. I'm thinking he's guilty. Like, something's got to be done.
I'm just going to say it. Somebody's got to say it. It sounds like he's guilty. Like, that's what I would say if I was guilty.
Bro, it's so fucked up. He's like, nope, nothing to see here.
You know, like, what is this?
Dude, this is one of the things that him and his administration ran on. This was, like, the thing.
So, yeah, anyway, yeah, it's a bad look. It's definitely a bad look. It looks really, really, really bad. And so, anyway, L take from Trump. It is Trump. Yeah, look. Let me see.
That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
Absolutely. By the way, this is the answer. Absolutely, we want to waste the time on this.
We're wasting our time on so many things. Why would we not waste our time on this? Like, oh my God. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm actually gonna lose my fucking mind. This is why I didn't vote. Because I knew there was gonna be some bullshit. Actually, this is why I never vote. Because there's always bullshit. All these people are the fucking same.
100%. The idea that numbers of heads of state and then powerful and influential people were involved in a cover-up that involved, non-consensual forced sex, rape with young and underage girls. Abso-fucking-lutely, that is it.
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems.
Dude, he's doing all the things that a guilty person would do. Why is he trying to sideline this and trying to get people to not talk about it? It's fucking crazy.
Seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Well, did she answer? Like, well, wait a minute.
It's the same shit that Hamas Diddy Piker does. Don't you know there's a genocide going on? Same shit.
Wait.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, there's a longer one. Yeah, I want to see this right here.
We can't look at probably the worst tragedy ever to happen in human history because we got all these other tragedies going on, but also we're doing really, really good. If we're doing really, really good, why aren't we looking into this? Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy.
Texas, we have tragedy with what happened.
Okay, here we go.
Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said...
You had the files on your desk. You had the list on your desk. You had the files on your desk. That's why it's getting attention, because you said you had it. That's the reason. What happened?
I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed.
That's
meaning
correct.
The file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
She sounds so nervous. Did you hear her shaky ass voice? Like, man, she knows she fucked up.
Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. We don't want to see that. Just release some faces.
Who was in the video, though? Was it identifiable people? Well, wait a minute. No, yeah. So if he's got all of these videos, who was in the videos?
Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released. Never going to see.
That's not the point. People get arrested for this all the time.
And dude, it's a misrepresentation of what people are asking for. It's the same corporate bullshit that we always hear from everybody else. Literally not what anybody's asking for. And they know it. They're just playing dumb. They're playing dumb. They're playing stupid because they know it'll fucking work. Even if we throw these people out, nothing's gonna happen. And the bad guys win.
And then actual police and investigators make sure and they confirm it's the person that they're convicting, and they do this all the time. This is bullshit.
Lighted day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but well,
it's not going to be conclusive when the minute is missing. Yeah, I mean,
But a minute is always missing in the tapes. Every single night. Don't you know? Of course there'd be a minute missing. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that the person that could have gone in there and offed him didn't just take a minute to go in there and do that. And still, why wouldn't there be a secret tunnel? Makes sense. It would be easy to do. This is the cell with the secret tunnel. Not saying that happened. I'm just saying, like, it's fucking stupid. Like, they want us to believe this shit. Act like they're retarded. And if they are, then fuck. If they're that retarded, then we're all fucked.
What is this?
Evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999.
Yeah.
So every night the video is reset.
Yeah.
And every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Guys, what do y'all think about this?
They're gonna show us proof of why there's a minute missing every night. They're not gonna show us the minute that's missing. Just they're gonna get the proof of why it happened. Okay, like the people who would have done this wouldn't know that there's a minute missing every single night.
What do y'all think about this? Is this a cover-up? I think it's a cover-up too, man. I think it's some real fucking bullshit. And yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on. It's all a magic show. They want this to blow over so bad. I think they do. And yeah, there it is. Do you suppose they managed to erase it all before the Trump team got in? If they had managed to erase it all before the Trump team got in, then they should have never said that they had the list. That's the thing, is you should have never said, if you said, oh, well, we don't have the list, as soon as you get in, people would be like, oh yeah, because Biden deleted it, right?
I knew that there wasn't going to be a client list. I knew this whole time, but They can make their own fucking client list. They can get all the names, all the faces that were in those videos, everybody involved, and they know something. It's not like they know zero. Bro, give me a fucking break.
That would have been easy. It would have been so easy. People would say that, it would have been over. But no, now this is it. It's fucked up. I think so. Trump win streak is over. It makes them look awful. I don't think that they understand how...
I don't think that Trump's going to get a third term because of this. I don't think he's going to get a third one. Definitely not a fourth.
Big of a deal this is for the average public. This, in my opinion, is like a top 5 issue.
I still don't think it's enough to get anybody to do anything about it.
It really is. It's a massive top 5 issue. And also keep in mind, Biden didn't release this either. So it's not like this is some kind of fucking Trump L that's unique. Biden didn't release it and Trump didn't release it. No other state has released it. In my opinion, top 3, maybe it's top 3, but it's definitely up there. I mean, on social media, it's definitely in the top 3. For voters at large, maybe not, but I think on social media, it definitely is. So yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely with like the streamer space that we're in. Oh yeah, this might be the number 1, maybe number 2 issue. I can't think of a bigger issue than this though. This is like the issue.
Yeah. Anyway, so Pam Bondi is screwing Trump with this L, and I guarantee a third party somewhere in the world has evidence, and as well as holding it for blackmail.
Yeah, like even places all around the world, they've got to have something. Somebody's got to have something.
That is the only way that I can explain and put all of the pieces together in a way that makes sense based off of what's public, is that there is a third party that has evidence and has these files. And if either side of the political party releases these files and doesn't release them in their full capacity, then that third party will release the files. Obviously, the most likely outcome for that is either Mossad, China, or Russia. One of the 3 of them probably has these files, and so this is effectively a Cold War, right? And so nobody can release the files because it's not Cold War, it's MAD, mutually assured destruction. So it just basically clears the entire board of everyone. In my opinion, I think the only probability of this ever happening, like in the future, is if we elect a really young politician that doesn't have the same connections that like these older people do. I think that this will eventually come out, but it will come out in like 20 years, right?
Yeah, I don't even think so. I think there's nothing there anymore. I think it's all gone. I think maybe we'll get some names of the people who destroyed everything, and those people will be in trouble and be hated forever. But no, I think it's all gone. I think there's nothing there. I think this is a big cover up and a big nothing to see here, look over there situation.
Right? Or like 15 years. So JD, yeah, it may be JD Vance or like AOC or somebody so. Like that. Maybe they would be.
They got families. They got people they love. I don't think it'll happen. As long as you got people that got something to lose and they don't want to throw it all away because of those things that they got to lose, it ain't gonna happen.
Be willing to release them because they don't have those same connections. It'll never happen. Well, and again, I'm being 50 years, guys. I'm being optimistic right now. Okay, I'm being optimistic because I try to look on. I don't really try to look on the bright side of things, but I try to be at least. I try to like see different perspectives. This is, I think, a very big turning point, though. It does look really bad. JD doesn't have connections. What are you all retarded? JD is not as connected as somebody like Bill Gates. No, he's not. Or he's not as connected as somebody like Jeffrey Epstein or Donald Trump is. Like, he hasn't been in the game for 50 years. He hasn't even been alive for 50 years. So if you can't understand what I'm saying with that, I think you're being intentionally dishonest. I'm not saying that it's a guarantee that he's going to do it. I'm just saying it's a degree of probability. And I said AOC as well. This isn't a, oh, well, next, we have to vote for another Republican. No, I think this is the only way that it would ever happen.
Yeah, I definitely think that they're going to be running AOC for the next election. That's going to be crazy. I don't know how she wins that one. Ice cream trucks outside my window. Very loud.